everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and welcome to the Cinematic Wasteland here on the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network. And this is our monthly show where myself and my two friends, Adam and Luke, where our passions for cinema take us through the history of film. Adam, Luke, thank you both so much for coming back on and talking some movies with me.
Pleasure
And
as
always,
always, mate.
yeah, always a blast.
There we go. And it is 1932, and we're going to be escaping from a chain gang because we're going to be talking about I Am a Fugitive from a Chain Gang. And I don't know about the review. I kept struggling with all the words in this title. I'm like, is it I'm
Yeah,
a fugitive of a chain gang? Am I a fugitive from a chain gang?
I had this word teenage stuck in my head, so I was like, I'm a teenage fugitive or a fugitive from a teenage chain. I
I'm
don't know
like,
why I was
Paul
sitting there
Mooney
watching. I'm
looks
like,
a little old to be a teenager.
what's wrong with me? I don't know why I was thinking that. It was weird.
It's like just slightly too old to be playing a teenager. It's like the late 90s again.
Yep.
Or Grease.
Yeah,
I was just watching that and
Beverly
Stockard
Hills 90210.
totally is a senior in high school. For
Mhm.
sure. But no, this is not a teenager on a chain gang, but it is a dude on a chain gang who escapes a chain gang and goes on a whole entire adventure. But before we get to talking about our film for 1932, we do have some film history because I messed up and read the box office numbers from the wrong year last time. We're skipping box office numbers for 1932 because we did those last time. And because the Oscars finally woke the hell up and decided to stop doing a academic calendar year approach to movie calendars and started doing an actual calendar year. We won't be doing the Oscars for this episode, but next episode, the Oscars cover a year and a half worth of movies. So we'll be back to that. But we do still have the Cinematic Wasteland Award for Best Picture. And this one is, we don't have one. We each have our own. So you'll find that
Three-way
out.
tie.
Yay,
Yay.
three-way tie. You'll find that out in a little bit. But let's get to some history. So we got Disney short talking film Flowers and Trees was the first in the Silly Symphony series. It premiered on July of 1932 at Grauman's Chinese Theater in Hollywood. It was the first animation short to use three strip or three color Technicolor, as was Disney's Three Little Pigs, the first globally successful story. It was also the first cartoon to win first Academy Award for Best Short Subject Cartoon Animation.
Hmm.
Mm. Disney yet
So,
again, trailing,
yes,
blazing trails, and then and now they are not.
Disney hoarding Oscars since 1932 for
Yep.
animation. Because between Disney Animation and Pixar, they have quite the large proportion of those Best Feature
Hmm.
Animated Film Oscars, but not so much recently. They haven't been
No,
doing the hottest with
it's
that.
been good.
But shaking things up. But apparently, Walt Disney has been nominated for an insane amount of Oscars for all these animated shorts. So I'm sure we'll be talking about them as we go along through the next 2 decades, it looks like. Now, the animated Disney character of Goofy, first known as Dippy Dog, was first introduced in Mickey Mouse cartoon Mickey's Review. So, shout out to my wife Jess, who is a humongous Goofy fan, whose favorite film from 1995 is the Goofy movie.
Oh yeah,
Um,
Goofy
which is
movie's
also
amazing.
the blackest animated film ever created. Especially if you watch the show Atlanta, you'll know that. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
so there
I
you
still
go.
haven't seen
yeah.
the
I
Goofy
remember that
movie.
episode. Oh mate, it's a great soundtrack too. I
I
love the
need to
songs
watch
in
it.
it.
I need to watch it. No, I have my gaps in like Disney, like 90s Disney. So like that's one of those
Mm.
gaps. So I need to watch it. There's no reason for it besides like I have many gaps.
What's funny is I didn't watch that as an until I was an adult because Jess showed it to me for the first
Ah.
time.
Ah.
She grew up on that, loving Goofy so much, and like she
Mm.
loves Goofy everything. And
Mm.
I don't know, I just that wasn't
Ex-
part of the rotation.
Explains why
And
she loves you.
I am a goof. There you go.
The roast of Shin Koto is back.
Except I feel like like build wise, I'm definitely more of a. Is it Pete? Is the other dog? Is like his antagonist.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not a string bean. Jess is more of the string bean in this relationship. So there you go. But no, the sound like power line and all that stuff from a Goofy
Mm,
movie.
it's
Mike
great.
Hilty, friend of us, and our fearless leader here on the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network, is a huge fan of the power line music from a Goofy movie. He talks
Mm-hmm.
about that a decent amount on his mixtape podcast here on the
Oh,
network. Shameless plugs all around.
Yes.
Um, Director H. Bruce Humberstone's campy detective movie, The Crooked Circle, became the first feature film ever broadcast on TV. A year after its theatrical release on March 10th, 1933, although there were only about a half dozen televisions in the Los Angeles area, experimental LA station W6XAO TV beamed it out from the corner of 7th and Bixel Streets in downtown while the film was still playing in local theater.
mm,
That's funny
Okay.
because
mm.
looks like Universal was still doing that up until very recently, putting things in theaters and casting them directly to streaming at the same time. I can't believe they still
Yeah,
did that with
it's
the Five
interesting.
Nights at Freddy's movie
Oh
that came
yeah.
out.
Oh,
That still
I
came
didn't
out
know that.
on Peacock the same day. I'm like, did you forget that that was supposed to stay in COVID land?
Yep.
Um,
It's a future. That's a future of it. I think it's going to be day and date release everywhere. It's. I'm not going to be surprised if you'd be able to be VOD, cinema, and then streaming all on the same day. That's the way it's going to go.
Unless you're somebody like Christopher Nolan, who's like, no, we'll have an exclusive,
There'll
like
be,
guaranteed, like
yeah,
cinema
there'll be some big
first.
boys. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
there'll be some big boys that demand that, and good for
Yes.
them.
superhero flicks will still wind up in the
Yeah,
theater first because
100%.
they're
Mm.
big blockbustery type things. But I don't know about you guys, but I certainly spent quite a bit of 1999 during COVID for those
Mm.
like opening weekend VOD releases. And now when I see something for
Ah,
1999 on VOD, I'm disgusted and I'm like, I'll never spend that. I'm like, times have
uh,
changed.
Yep.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, because there was one film that came out that released quote unquote in theaters. Those listening, I am doing air quotes very aggressively. Released in theaters on a Friday, came out on VOD on a Tuesday. I'm like, oh, I want to check this out, and it's like 14.99. I'm like,
Mm.
I don't want to check it out that bad yet. So
And
there you
also,
go.
there's no reason for like the Disney flicks, like Marvel and stuff, because it's gonna be on Disney Plus within like 4 to 5
Yes.
days. So like many,
Yeah,
and I know many people who are like, yeah, I'm not gonna see the latest Marvel movie. I know I have Disney Plus at home. I'll just wait a month and a half, and then I'll watch it
I'm
at
gonna,
home.
I'm
It's
gonna
not
wait
month and a
45
half
days to
anymore.
watch Doomsday.
Mm.
Are
It's a
you getting
couple months.
45 days? We're getting like it
No,
took
it's about 4 months, three, four
it's
months.
like,
Like
yeah, it's
here in
about
UK,
3.5 months for
The
I think,
Thunderbolts,
Thunderbolts came
Elio.
out in theaters in May and came out
yes.
at the end of August.
Yeah. So I guess they increased it a bit, like
Mm,
doubled it, I guess. Hmm. But
yeah,
I remember
Elio's
Still,
it used
is
to be like
same.
45 days.
well, yeah, during COVID
Mm.
and
Mm-hmm.
all those hellscape of times.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
They're
We
always
have,
playing with with the model of how they release, always.
and it's
Mm-hmm.
crap 90% of the time. So there you go.
Yeah.
Um, Howard Hawks' gangster film Scarface used an X motif throughout. The film was specifically targeted by the
Mm.
production code for its violence, sexual innuendo, and for its ending that was re-edited to demonstrate that good ultimately triumphed over evil. The film was also forced to be renamed Scarface: The Shame of the Nation.
Mm.
Wow.
The shame of the
Wow.
nation.
It has got a
Which
disclaimer in front of it too. Yeah, it's really interesting read.
two things.
Ah.
One,
Mm.
great movie. I'll
Hmm.
be talking about it shortly. Two, an X motif is very interesting because can either of you name a
The
Scorsese film that
Departed.
yeah. It's like Scorsese loves movies.
Yeah,
I know,
yeah.
right? Who would have thought?
What?
Hmm.
I actually am
You
reading
get
his
a
book
rat.
like there's a rat in my crew. And all of you listening missed out on that. I'm sorry.
Hmm.
But Adam and Luke got to enjoy my rat face. Um, I'm actually
As we do
reading a
every
book.
month.
There we go.
The roast
Wow.
continues.
I was gonna say.
Adam, you have to choose. Am I a
Mate,
dog?
if I
Am I a
roast you, it means
rat?
I love you. On it, if I roast you, I love you. That's how Australians work.
We need to we need to clarify something. I'm much more bear coded than I am a dog or a rat. So just so that we're clear. But it's
Beer coded. That's a great term.
um in terms of I was reading in the middle of reading a book by Tarantino about
Ah,
cinema, and each chapter is like a
mm,
new film that he's talking about, and there's a whole chapter
mm,
on Taxi Driver, and realizing how much
mm.
Taxi Driver is actually like a modern day remake of The Searchers is very interesting.
Oh,
Um,
I'll have to read
which
that chapter.
Scorsese loves. The Searchers, it's one of his top
Yeah.
films.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I
Him and
think
Spielberg.
if you're cinephile, you'll enjoy the book. But Tarantino could be
Mm.
insufferable, honestly. I'm kind of
Oh,
just like,
yeah. He's right.
and
Yeah.
he has some ridiculous hot takes, and I'm just like, dude, you're crazy.
He does.
But anyway,
Oh, yeah.
that's why
He
film
does,
is
but yeah.
subjective.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, Paramount Pictures, which may or may not be buying Warner Brothers or Netflix, buying Warner Brothers, interesting history right now. Paramount Pictures, founded in
What the hell?
1912, became the began to curtail activities in the East Coast studios in Astoria in Long Island, New York, and moved to Hollywood. Once the conversion to talkies was complete, Astoria had been the center of East Coast film industry in the 1920s, and many stage actors or actresses, Janine Eagles, Ruth Catterton, Frederick March, John Cromwell, Claudette Colbert, Ginger Rogers, Edward G. Robinson, Jeanette MacDonald, and more. And directors Ruben Momelian, George Coker had gotten their starts
Mm,
there. It was the locale of the
Mm,
early Marx films as well. So
mm,
Jersey and Long Island were the heart of filmmaking in the East Coast, and then they all ditched us and went to
wow,
Hollywood.
wow.
And one thing I can give Netflix credit for is trying to take it back, bringing
yes.
movies back to New Jersey. Are they good movies?
Hmm. If it's on
That
Netflix, probably
remains to
not.
be seen. You know,
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore 2 was all shot in New Jersey, for better or for worse.
And as
Yeah.
we all know, that's in contention to win all the Oscars this year. So hey.
I
There'd be
will
some
argue
Razzies,
that
I
the
reckon.
first two-thirds of that movie are fun. And then the third act is an abomination upon cinema, golf, and all things decent. So there you go.
Mm.
But woo, New Jersey. Um, Director Ruben Momelian's pivotal musical "Love Me Tonight" shaped the technical language of movie musicals in the sound era by smoothly integrating the songs into the film's plotline. It was also featured the first zoom shot into a window and first asynchronous sound, and also other dazzling special effects such as slow motion, fast motion, and split screens. I gotta check this out. This
Hmm.
seems interesting.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm like, musicals back when it was just here's a the whole entire movie is just a stage performance of musical numbers that has no plot or anything. This is,
Mhm.
but what if the songs were the plot? And it's just like,
Ooh,
oh, we
Mm.
have
interesting.
musicals now.
Tell me more. Interesting.
Tell me more.
Would you put up with fun?
Director Director George Cooker's A Bill of Divorcement marked the film debut of 24-year-old Katharine Hepburn as Sydney Fairfield, misspelled as Sydney and Catherine in the credits.
Hmm?
Hmm. Oh, they misspelled both Sydney and Catherine in the credits.
Oh.
Because Catherine Hepburn is Katharine, but in the
Mm-hmm.
credits it was
Of
Katherine.
course.
And
Yeah.
Sydney Fairfield, the character has a Y for the I in Sydney.
Mm,
You had one job,
yes.
credits. You had one job, spelling. You
Mm,
Yeah.
failed. That's
You're
why we
far
can't
rude.
have nice things. So, the film career of 4-year-old child star Shirley Temple, born in 1928. Yes, we can do math. Probably
uh-huh.
the most famous child actress in history, began when she appeared in 8 exploitative one-reel shorts in a series from Educational Pictures called The Baby Burlesques.
Wow. Can you imagine the
Um,
trauma she went through? My goodness.
Yep.
oh my. In the short takeoffs, toddlers played adult roles and wore provocative clothing.
Jesus Christ.
Cool. Cool,
Is
cool,
this a
cool.
is this the beauty pageant from Little Miss Sunshine?
I was gonna say, is this a Toddlers and Tiaras?
Um, her
Honey
first
Boo
film
Boo.
appearance was the first film of the series called Runt Page. Her feature film debut was The Red-Haired Alibi. Fox signed 5-year-old Shirley to a contract in 1933. He would become one of the biggest box office stars in the mid to late 1930s. Well, good to see that pervert still existed back then. Um, so there we go. Creepy as
I
hell.
It-
I wonder if they had some sort of island back then too.
Hmm,
Hmm.
Ah,
probably.
mm,
I
mhm.
wonder if it. Never mind. I'm not going to go there.
Go there, go there, go there.
Play it
Director
safe. Play it safe.
Director Victor Halperin's independent low-budget horror film White Zombie was the first true zombie film. It was a first feature-length zombie film, the archetype and model for all subsequent zombie films. It starred Bela Lugosi as hypnotic and sinister Haitian sugar mule Murder Legandry.
What? Say
I
those
mean, when I see,
names
when I
again.
see Hungarian Bela Lugosi, I of course think of Haitian, like duh.
Oh, sinister Haitian sugar mill owner Murder Legandry with zombie slaves was deliberately made with minimal dialogue and filmed to be visually and atmospheric and expressionistic.
I need to
Now,
look it up.
I want to talk about that zombie origin because I have read everywhere that Romero started the zombie stuff.
So,
I,
actual zombies, the
Yeah.
idea of like hypnotized like voodoo-esque
The Living
type
Dead?
of stuff.
mhm.
So like not the living dead, but like zombies were not living dead corpses reanimated originally. They were like some kind of like curse hypnosis kind of
Right.
thing.
So they're
Yeah.
still living
And
people just under the
so
charms
I
of
am
something.
sure White Zombie handled all of the Haitian religious elements with complete respect and all ways of decency in this film. Not.
Kalima.
Well
And this
that's
movie can be streamed on Plex or Prime Video. By the way, White Zombie for all who are very keen on watching this. 69 minutes.
I need to see the Haitian
Oh,
sugar mill
short
owner
movie.
murder Legandry.
Yes. No,
Yeah,
like
that's a
I'm
great
genuinely
name.
curious. I'm genuinely like Bela Lugosi is like, the granddaddy of all the monsters, realistically. So like him taking on that role, I'm like interested.
Yep.
Okay,
Beautiful. I
okay.
could watch
I'm
this
wondering
tonight.
if he has blackface.
I hope not, but
He's
it's
playing a
Hollywood
Haitian
in
though.
1932. You
He's
know,
a unless he's a sugar mill owner in Haiti, but they said Haitian. So we're gonna
Yeah.
find out. We'll do our research.
yes.
Um, Todd Browning directed The Unusual Gothic Freaks with real life sideshow freaks, one of his best works. It told how a group of freaks took. See, you don't need to. I get it. The movie's called Freaks, but you don't have to continue to
Freaks,
use
freaks,
that.
freaks, 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 freaks. Yes.
I'm disappointed in this website where I get this film history. A group of freaks took revenge on a beautiful gold digging trapeze artist and turned her into a monstrous half human, half bird. This cult film redefined the concepts of beauty, love, and abnormality, but was so disturbingly ahead of its time that audiences stayed away in huge numbers and even banned for 30 years in England.
Really? Wow.
Wow. How was it
So,
called again?
freaks, I've watched
Oh,
this.
It's a
I
Criterion
really
movie.
like this. It is. Um, and I learned that a famous thing came from this movie. One of us, oh, weeble wobble, weeble
oh,
waddle.
is that from
One of
that?
us is from Freaks.
Ah,
Damn, it's rated
okay.
7.8 on IMDb.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
Hmm.
a
it's very
really good, unnerving, creepy movie.
And
And
mm.
another
and
one, only 64 minutes.
yeah, and this one actually treats its characters with respect and humility. Um,
Okay, I
the
need to watch it.
the people with a variety of disabilities and variety of deformities. I'm not trying to be more respectful than this summation here.
Yeah.
Um, they actually are treated like human beings, and they have reasons why, like, they want to do the stuff that they do. It's not just like, oh, they're evil. It's just like these extremely ableist pieces of shit try to steal their money. So
Mm.
screw them. So next up, we have legendary French director Jean Renoir, directed Bordeaux Saved from Drowning. I am not going to read the French title. A critique of French bourgeois in a tale of an urban bum played by Michel Simon, who was rescued by a bourgeois book-selling gentleman and brought to his apartment. The story served as the basis for Paul Mazurksi's Down and Out in Beverly Hills from 1986 with Nick Nolte in it.
I love that movie.
Mm.
Well, now you can watch the original French film.
That's interesting. It's a really good movie. If you guys haven't seen that,
I
definitely
haven't known.
recommend it.
I have not, but Nick Nolte
It's
is
Yes.
is it Richard Dreyfuss? Is it Richard Dreyfuss
is he
as
in it
well?
too?
Yeah,
Well, it's
it's Nick Nolte's
interesting
like a
because
homeless man he brings home and he kind of takes over the whole house.
I feel like they would put Richard Dreyfuss's name in there too if there
Hmm.
was that big of a name, but I didn't write this, as you could tell from how I responded to the past two
I'm looking it
some
up.
Asians here. So next up, we have MGM's classic Best Picture winning film masterpiece, Grand Hotel, was the first all star epic featuring many high
Hmm.
profile stars of the early 1930s, including John Barrymore, Wallace Beery, Joan Crawford, and Greta Garbo, etc. Basically, the entire cast was from MGM star making Film Factory, and the film marked the first major use of a large all star cast that would later be copied in Dinner for Eight, Wonder Bar, An Airport, The Poseidon Adventure, and The Towering Inferno, among others. Its ensemble cast of stars were occupants of a between wars German hotel, all struggling with either their finances, health, or social standing in multiple storylines. I liked it. I enjoyed Grand Hotel. I don't know if I'd go as far as saying like this should have been the best picture of the
Hmm.
year, but like it's a good movie. It has a great cast. It has fun shenanigans.
Sadly, haven't seen that.
Hmm.
Well, now we're just filling up the watch
Mm-hmm.
lists, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
MGM also had Tarzan the Ape Man was the first Tarzan talkie and also MGM's first Tarzan film. It was the first of six MGM Tarzan Jungle Adventures films starring Olympic swimming champion Johnny Weissmuller and co-star Maureen
Hmm.
O'Sullivan as Jane, stretching from 1932 to 1932 to 1942. It was also notable that the only MGM Tarzan film that was based upon the original Lord of the Jungle character in the Edgar Rice Burroughs stories. The film introduced a chimpanzee cheetah and provided a Weissmuller yodel yell produced by MGM's sound department. Although the ape call originated in 1929 part talkie series starring Frank Merrill. The star swimmer Weissmuller was chosen for the role in part because had he was a gold medals winner in the 1924 and 1928
Hmm.
Olympics.
He
Okay,
was.
that answers my question. I was like, did he win the medals before he became this Tarzan guy or after? I was okay, so
No, they're
before.
like, this man's a champion. He's our
Yes.
Tarzan.
Yes.
And he's
Mm.
opened the door for so many athletes turned actors like Shaquille O'Neal and Marshawn Lynch.
Yes. And only
Joshua
those
Lynch is
two.
all right.
Marshawn Lynch is hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah,
Honestly, I love him
he's
and
good in
anything that
bottoms.
he pops up.
Yeah,
Oh
in
my god,
bottoms,
Mm.
he's so
he's
good
great.
in bottoms.
Yeah.
I was just watching a video. I was watching a video of him doing batting practice with the Arizona Diamondbacks. He got invited, and he started like freaking out. He's like, "You all hit this for a living?" Because like those balls were coming in so
Yeah.
fast, and then he started raking, and he's like, "You all get paid to do this?" Damn. Then he was talking smack. It's
Mm,
hilarious.
of course.
But no, there's been some athletes turned to actors that have worked out. You can debate athletes, but there's been some professional wrestlers who've made that jump for sure.
Hmm.
The best of which is
Hmm.
Dave Batista, and I will not be accepting any
Yeah. No.
debate over who's
But
actually the best actor.
Bautista's
So
great. I'm
Yes.
really impressed
yes.
with him.
And The Rock's like, take me seriously. Smashing Machine. Um, And then
Yeah.
we got two more. Welsh-born English actress Millicent Lillian Peg Entwistle gained notoriety by jumping suicidally to her death from atop the Hollywoodland sign. She allegedly jumped from the giant H. She had been in only one contracted Hollywood movie role, a bit part, since arriving in the LA area, RKO's 13 Women. And it turned out to be the last for the 24-year-old discouraged actress. Much of her acting parts were deleted from the poorly reviewed films released after test screenings.
I know
Hmm.
this is not the most important point about this story, this sad story, but jumping suicidally is a weird. I don't, is it just me who finds it a weird term? It was like, she committed
So my
suicide.
two thoughts were, I don't know if I've ever used suicidally in a sentence.
Jumping.
And then
Hmm.
my other thought was they specifically pointed out which letter. Like they went out of their way to be like specifically she jumped off of the H. And I'm like, why are those the two things that stuck out to me in this like tragic story that I
Yeah.
just read out?
It sounds
Ran-
like someone who's trying to explain that, oh, I didn't push her. She suicidally jumped. Like, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
She did it all
It was
herself.
from the letter
Welcome
H,
to the
I was
Yeah,
by
it's
the
from
cinematic
the
letter
H, yeah.
wastelands.
There's too much detail in that
I
story to
was
be
I
true.
was by the letter L, okay? I was standing by the letter L. She was jumping suicidally from the letter H. Couldn't be me, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
See?
I
See?
was
So
over near the
welcome to the
D.
cinematic wasteland conspiracy theories podcast, where
Yes.
we're drumming up some shit this week.
No, we are revealing the truth, Shane, okay? We just asking question, okay? Okay? We just asking questions. That's all.
We're just asking questions. Was Entwistle really on the H? Do we really know?
Do we?
How do we know that
No.
it was specifically the H?
We
Mm-hmm.
went
So
on the
those are
crossbar.
is suicidally a word? Is it in the Webster's dictionary?
Must be.
Probably. But it is very sad. And
Yes.
like that's gonna be her legacy. It is her legacy. This is almost 100 years later. So
Mm-hmm.
last one, the world's first major film festival was held in Venice, Italy. It was part of the Venice Biennale, a major contemporary art exhibition and festival that took place every 2 years. The International Film Festival presented Best Actor and Best Actress awards to Friedrich March for Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and Helen Hayes for The Sins of Madeline Claudette. Rene Clair's French film A Nous la Liberté was considered the most amusing of the films exhibited. Amusing.
Ooh.
The festival is the longest running festival still taking place, held in these years 1932, 1934 through 42, 46 through 68, 71 and 72, 74 through 76, and from 1979 has not missed a year.
All right.
So yeah,
Decent.
Venice Film Festival started in
Mm.
1932.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
that is all the history I have for all of you. I know one of my goals someday is to like legit go to a film festival and like
It'd be
really do a
nice.
film
Yeah.
festival.
Yeah, like
Cannes or
Cannes.
Venice would be great.
Yeah.
To-
I have I had the Philly Film Festival, and usually they have a lot of good movies. The issue is it's in October during my semester, and I can't just like take a week
I
off
have
The
and
a
like
Brisbane,
really.
this you would have a few, Luke.
See, like I have a like look, I have a advantage because me being originally from Czech Republic, we have a quite major one, Karlovy Vary, that's quite famous, where like many Hollywood people actually arrive, get their awards, and fuck off back,
Mm.
and they're like, oh, that's so great. But no, there are actually like I've never been, but I've always wanted to go to that. But obviously, like the goal would be like Cannes or like Venice
Yeah.
because those or like Berlin, like Berlin is a
Toronto would be
festival.
great.
Yeah, Toronto. Yeah,
Berlin. Who wins the bear?
the bear.
Um,
Who wins
there,
the Shane?
yeah, who wins the Shane Award? There's multiple. Like, I
Mm.
could go to the New York Film Festival. Oh, well,
Oh, that.
what?
Mm.
There's there's
South by
multiple.
Southwest would be great too.
That would be cool. I would love to go to Sundance
Oh
some
yes, of
years,
course.
Mm.
but
Especially
the
now after Robert, we
yeah,
lost legend.
Robert Redford, rest in peace. But the tricky thing is that's right at the beginning of our spring semester, so
Mm.
that doesn't work out.
Yeah.
I don't have a job that I have very specific times that are like no-goes, and
Yeah.
almost
Mm.
all of them, like all these film festivals are during semesters. And I'm like, would it kill any
Yeah.
of you to have one like the dead of summer?
You know
Yeah.
what we should do? We should all quit our jobs for a year, right? And like, and then it would be like a podcast about like, going from major festival to major festival and making like, what we saw. That'd be so fucking
That'd
cool.
be sick. That'd be
Yes.
sick. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except I hate travel. I hate to travel, but I have to
I
get
hate
over it. I'd get
traveling
used to
too,
it.
but I'll do it for the
Yeah.
movies and for
Yeah.
you too.
We
Do
have
it
the
for
So,
me.
the got the Brisbane International Festival starting, I think, next month. I normally runs in October up
And that's
here,
also
but
quite
it's
famous, Brisbane. Yeah, I've heard of that.
is
Yeah.
it? It's only
Yeah.
half like it's half an hour, 40 minutes away from me, and I don't go. I
I
never
would
go.
I would like
You
to do
should.
Toronto.
Mm,
Toronto's usually a pretty big one too.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's not like the farthest away for
Mm-hmm.
me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like probably like a couple hour flight. But
Mm.
that's our film history for 1932. Nothing made any money, so we're not going to do box office. Just kidding.
Famously.
Famously. We will come back to the Academy Awards next episode and our Cinematic Wasteland Award for Best Picture. We have a three-way tie because none of us
Mm.
agreed on this. But Adam, what is your top film for 1932?
I have watched this movie twice in the last few months. The Old Dark House, the James Whale classic, which I had never heard of until it got a 4K release, and I'm so
Nice.
glad I got it because it's such a just a vibe of a film. It's awesome.
Another one I need to put on my watch list.
You'll
It
get it
is
free
on
on Tubi or something.
it is definitely on my watch list already, my obscenely large,
Mm.
obnoxious watch
Mm.
list. Luke, what's your number one film from 1932?
So I've only seen 6 movies, but yeah, this is the highest one I've rated. And yeah, I love me some Universal monster movies, so The Mummy must be that.
There you go. The Mummy.
Hmm.
Starring Boris Karloff as the
Correct.
titular
Mm.
mummy. I am up to 11 films from 1932, and my number one is Scarface. Um,
Mm.
Howard Hawks is an amazing
Yeah,
filmmaker, and this
yeah,
movie is so sharp and technically, like the editing, the camera work, and everything, so good. And it's thrilling, it's violent, it's a
hmm
gangster movie.
I need to
Okay,
watch that.
so really
yeah.
good one. Thing is, we do actually have a really good movie we're going to be talking about too,
Hmm.
because it seemed like all of us were pretty high on it for sure.
Hmm.
Hmm
And that is a man. I am a fugitive from a chain gang, and
Teenage Singing.
this from a teenage is the is
Teenage
it a
Sorry.
Spirit.
is it a teenage fugitive from a chain gang, or is it a fugitive
Yes.
from a teenage chain gang?
Oh my,
Is
that'd be great. This sounds like a Weird Al. If Weird Al makes another movie, I'm a teenage fugitive from a teenage chain gang.
I was
So
gonna make a
great.
joke. It sounds like a kind of movie that we played on some pervert island, like like a porn parody of a
Yeah.
movie that was, on
Oh
a very
God.
perverted island.
oh my. This is from director
Moving
Mervyn
right along.
Leroy. Meanwhile, in our discussion about this movie,
Yes.
starring Paul Mooney and a World War One veteran and aspiring engineer tries to re-enter civilian life after being Unwittingly caught up in a robbery, he suffers the intolerable conditions of a southern chain gang, struggling to clear his name and prove his worth. But that is the synopsis of the film. Let's start with you, Adam. What are your general thoughts on I Am a Fugitive from a Chain Gang?
I have a lot of notes about this film, and hopefully I can get to them all during it. But yeah, overall, this is a fantastic movie. There's a lot of really great touches. One of my biggest notes was there's just so many little touches that help drive the plot and help drive the story and the arc of these of some of the characters. It introduces and exposits its world building really well. There's like one of those touches that I really like was the how they exposed or exposited the turning of time with him with
Yes,
his new
yes.
title cards, with the way he was
Mm,
kept getting promoted in this is after he
mhm.
escaped from the
Yep.
chain gang. I love those little things. Stuff you don't see anymore. I did pick up really early on that this is probably the most conventional film that we've seen in this show so far. Like a film that's plotted and acted and edited more like films that we see today. Um, it's it has some pretty good humor in it. It has some great tension in it. The escape itself, I thought was really great. I think his character is really great. I did get Treasure of the Sierra Madre vibes at points, which is a film I adore. It starts off full of hope. Ends up with him trying to sell his war medals before he gets unfortunately kind of trapped in that crime, like he's forced to do what he does. So I love that character aspect of him just being actually wrong place, wrong time, made the wrong decisions, traveled around the country trying to find a job during Depression era. I'm assuming this was Depression era or
Yep.
pre-Depression.
Just
Um,
I think
Well,
pre, yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
because World War One ended in 1918,
yeah.
and
So it's the mid 20s when he took off. Yeah,
yeah,
I think. Yeah. So he come from a
Like
pretty
28, 29, I
privileged,
think.
yeah. So he come from somewhere pretty privileged, but wanted to do something more meaningful.
Hmm.
So I've probably gone too far in my general thoughts, but this is a great, huge recommend. Huge recommend. I'll let you
Hmm.
guys talk for a little bit.
Luke.
I so pretty much copy and paste what Adam said. Like I was gonna mention the passage of time, like the little bits, like like even when he was even before he escapes, there's like like sequence how time flies, and every time they strike that, and I was like, damn, that's a cool transition, especially for the era. Just how to let viewers know, oh, another month has passed, another month has passed. No, but I also really liked it. I've written in my review that, like, for me, the only thing that stopped me from loving it is the second act, which kind of slowed everything down for me just a tiny bit. But the first and the final act are brilliant. And I've also, it cannot be underestimated and understated how relevant to a degree still this movie is about prison system, about veterans,
Hmm.
about,
Not being looked
hey,
after.
we will, yeah, exactly. We'll celebrate you. We want you to fight our wars, but if you come back, don't you dare come back and look for meaning or look for other job. Like, no, then you can get fucked. And it's just like, oh, it's kind of weird how this is a movie from 1932, and veterans from of many wars will
Mm.
tell you the same thing,
Yep.
especially American ones. And I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, this is, and even on IMDb trivia, it's like one of the first like proper like social, quote unquote, social issues movies. And studio was very careful about should we release it, should we not, because movies supposed to be entertainment, and this is one of the first one that and apparently paid off hugely. So I know I really really liked it. What about you, Shane?
So I'll start with the elephant in the room of how we treat our veterans,
Hmm.
especially here in America.
Yeah.
I feel like this should be the easiest thing to get funding for.
Yeah.
Like
Should.
both sides complain about how our veterans aren't being taken care of. Then what the hell are you doing? Like the amount of money the United States spends on self def like
Defense.
defense budget. and
Yeah.
military and stuff like that. And then somehow all of our veterans wind up homeless. And then you have people attacking the homeless populations when a lot of them are veterans that should have been taken care of in the first place. And then, you have pundits on TV saying we should just euthanize them all.
And it's
Yeah, my
very weird
goodness.
how it's really weird how especially one side who claims to be very pro veterans is the one
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
most of the time tries to strip them of their benefits. Interesting. Hmm.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it's really disappointing because like this is the fact that this is almost 100 years old is wild. That this shows like this is what happens. Like somebody comes back and is desperate, trying to get back into society, and nobody is
Mm.
helping them. And this is how a lot of people wind up falling backwards into crime and
Hmm.
stuff like
Yeah,
that. And then they
absolutely.
get persecuted with the strongest arm of the law, because this film really is three parts. It's like you have
Mm.
this
Mm-hmm.
struggle and then into prison, and then he escapes, and then you have this whole life that this man lives that's
Oh yeah.
inspiring. And it's like there like prison isn't shouldn't just be for punishment. Like this guy obviously wasn't a bad guy. Just
Mm.
help him out and get him back on track and look at all the amazing things you could do. And then you get
Yeah.
screwed over by people who were trying to take advantage of you. Which that was so upsetting. But
Hmm.
and then
Yeah, it
the third
was.
act of this film, which my God, if it our treatment of our veterans wasn't bad enough in this movie, then the legal system, and it's just like, but we promise to let you
Mm.
out if you just play nicely and go back in. And then
Yeah.
every time he came up for parole, and they were just like, no.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it felt like the South Park, where it's like, we're sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
We're sorry. We can't let you
During
out. We're sorry. And it's just like, that is so messed up. And this is why you should not trust. Like,
well,
this,
during the negotiations and it was happening, he's, oh, I think I'm going to go. I said, well, mate, you want to get this in writing, like he's promising you, get it in writing, like
yep.
have it
Hmm.
backed up with your lawyer or whatnot. And yeah, anyway, it was the
Well, back
30s
then in the
contracts.
1930s, law enforcement and everything, they were also trustworthy.
They were
Oh,
honorable. Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Of course they were.
Yes.
And still
This
are.
this
What are
is
you
a
talking about?
what are you talking about? What am I talking about? This is a provocative film for
Mm,
1932 in terms of like it straight up slaps American society in the face and be like, "What are you doing?"
yeah.
And on top of
Like,
that, it has an incredibly thrilling third act
mm,
escape that's really well shot. It's intense.
yeah.
This has like a very sobering but poignant ending to it,
Yes.
and
Mm-hmm,
a
mm-hmm.
really like sharply edited, well put together film. This has a lot to say. It's incredibly well made. I think Paul Mooney's performance is very strong,
Hmm.
expressive, and I could definitely feel like it's channeling still some of that silent acting, because like some of the
Mm.
like
Yeah.
expressions
Yeah,
are
yeah,
big and theatrical,
yeah.
but like it works because this guy should be pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Also,
Yeah.
let's not bury the hatchet here, or not bury the hatchet. I don't know what's the
Bury the
English
very
name.
lead.
lead.
Very lead. Sorry, yeah, thank you. Let's not bury the other thing. That's not hatchet. Yes, the lead. uh, this is based on an actual true story, and the
Mm,
guy actually
mm.
helped on a movie for a bit before he fled away because he was so paranoid about everything, and because of him, or largely because of him, these chain gangs in prisons were dismantled in 1937.
Oh,
So
okay.
this movie is based on a real life story of a I
Mm.
believe he was also a veteran. So
Yep.
yeah.
Mm.
Well, and like my experience with like chain gangs in film has been like Cool Hand Luke
Yeah.
and something like that. And it was interesting seeing another film really tackling this same kind of idea. Obviously, Cool Hand Luke spends much more of its screen time in the prison, because like
Hmm.
the whole
Yeah.
entire basically the whole entire thing is that this you do have that diversion, that middle of the film's second act, where I think on some level it is less interesting than the rest of the film, because, him doing well is, I guess, a lot less interesting than all the horrible things happening to him
Hmm.
on some level. But like even just how this film keeps reinforcing how untrustworthy society and people are and how selfish and how they'll take advantage of you. Like
Mm.
that, because it's his
Oh,
landlady, right? That
yeah, yeah, yeah,
blackmails him into a
yeah.
relationship and then
I'm glad
screws
we're
him
talking about
over.
that. Yeah. I mean,
So
chicks loved him. Like they were throwing themselves at him like quite regularly.
he was an attractive, successful man. It's just like this man had it made at that
Mhm.
point.
But he
And
wasn't at
then,
that stage though. When the scenes where the women were throwing themselves, he wasn't successful. He was just kind of out of just freshly escaped. One thing I wanted to bring
well,
up,
then
sorry,
he was an attractive man. So, period.
I suppose. Um, what was I going to say? One thing I wanted to bring up was
Mhm.
something doesn't matter. I don't know. Oh, the no, that wasn't it. It was something else. Doesn't matter. Keep talking. I apologize. It'll come back to me.
See, like I was gonna say, so I was gonna mention, basically, again, like it's not even that he's doing well. In the second act, that wasn't working for me. I no, that was enjoyable, of course. Like, I think it's the sign of the time, and it's just, this being one of the first prison movies, prison escape movies, and all that,
Mm,
where they haven't figured out like all the details about, oh yeah, there's like two female characters, but like none of them give us much, right? There's like he escapes, and a scene or two later, he purchases a suit, and I'm like, where do you get the money? I'm like,
That's the point I was going to bring up.
oh,
That was
thank
what
you.
I was trying to say. Like where I was going to ask, I've written here, can we explain where he got his money from after he escaped? Like, because he
Yeah,
was
like
just
he was
spending up.
the suit, the haircut, all that. Like, look, those are very tiny nitpicks, right? But it's like, okay,
I thought I
but
missed something, but I
yeah,
didn't
me
want to
too.
rewind it.
Me
Yeah.
too. And I was like, what? And then he just changes his name from James Allen to Alan
Yeah.
James. And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, okay,
Yeah.
dude, it's 1932, but surely you maybe want to cut your hair or like change your color of your hair. Like they're
He
looking
got a
for
shave.
you.
Growing
He
a
got a shave in
mustache.
front of that cop. Yeah.
And so to my point, like I think that kind of this movie had to walk so others could run and figure out how to
Yeah,
do
yeah,
this like a
yeah.
middle bit
Yeah.
better, right? It's not about, oh yeah, he's doing well. That's why it's not heartbreaking. It's no, I was happy for
Mm.
it. I was happy for the dude, of course. Like when he was like progressing in his career, then he found a true love. Like he wanted to
Yeah.
divorce the landlady. He forced that forced him to marry him effectively. So like I was happy for him, but it's just like
Mm.
that kind of almost feels like a short movie in a between of normal, like a long feature movie in a way. And I'm like,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this guy, the story arc is of his character arc is amazing. Like it's such a roller
yeah,
coaster. And it
mhm,
feels like a bigger movie than it is. You're right. I think you're right.
yes.
Yeah. There's some good
Hey,
scenes. Some good humor. Sorry, Shane, you were
Mhm.
going to say something. I'll talk about the humor in a minute. That's okay.
continue.
Um, I loved when he was on the chain gang and he had to get permission to wipe the sweat off his brow
Oh yeah.
because the cop got beaten him. But then another guy asked permission and he went behind a bush and like, what's he doing? He's got 2 minutes to brush his teeth. Like, because I'm like, that might be some pre-Hays Code era stuff coming in because it was obviously being watched upon what they did. But 2 minutes to brush his teeth, he's obviously taking a shit, right? But they say in the movie he's brushing his teeth. I thought that was a really good. I don't know. It was something that made me laugh for one thing, and a pretty interesting point, and how they were probably trying to appease censors even then, by not announcing he's taking a crap in the bush.
Mhm.
I
Like,
don't know if you guys
drying
picked
my
that up or not.
No,
drying my
I haven't
brow,
actually.
boss.
Mm.
Taking a shit, boss.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like they had all that in like Coy and Luke, where it's just like, wiping my brow, boss. And because you have to ask permission to do everything,
yeah, yeah,
announce everything. But no, I guess that is a fun way of like, yeah, brushing your teeth
yeah, yeah.
uh
He's
behind
got
that
two
bush
minutes
for
to brush
sure.
his teeth. I loved also when he was first escaping and he was getting on the train and the police start running and he runs onto the plane and then this random dude just pops out from underneath the train.
Oh yeah.
That's just, and the way he looks cracked me up. It made me laugh. I thought that was funny. I don't know if it's supposed to be funny, but it just was. It reminded me of like a cartoon type of, like one of those, even a Naked Gun type of fake out joke. It
Hmm.
was just, yeah, it cracked me up. Made me laugh.
Well, and I don't want to purposefully just crap talk a movie, but I'm going to use a movie that I just watched 2 nights ago as a comparison
Hmm.
because
Mm.
this is from 1932. That final chase is thrilling,
Mm.
it's
Yes.
Mm.
visceral, it's exciting.
Hmm.
I was just watching The Strangers Chapter 2, and there was a similar climactic car chase at the end of the movie
Hmm.
for some reason, and it was so poorly done and it looks so fake and cringy. And I'm like, this movie was made almost 100 years ago
Hmm.
and did
Yeah.
so much better than this.
Mm.
And it's just like,
It's crazy,
I
isn't it?
think it this film a lot of credit because, and like, I don't know who Mervyn Leroy is, the director.
No.
So he
I,
produced Wizard of
Oh,
Oz, and he
oh.
made Quo Vadis, which is like a movies
Oh,
from
yeah, yeah.
the 50s. That's I
Mm.
only
and
know of it
Gypsy.
because it's on my shelf is one of the Blu-rays I bought, like one of the first Blu-rays for some reason. So
Still
like
haven't watched
it's
it.
still haven't watched it. No, like I'm getting to it,
Welcome to the
getting to
club,
it.
mate. Welcome to the
I
club.
know.
So it's
Uh,
interesting. It's interesting because yeah, it looks like he has done some pretty famous films. It's still
Hmm.
not like a director that I'm fully aware of from that
I didn't
era, but like he
recognize.
really
I didn't.
directed this film well.
He
Hmm.
did. I actually one of my opening notes is I didn't recognize any of the actors in this movie. And I've watched a bit from back then, but not one of them. I don't know. I didn't look them up to see if they how famous they were or anything. But yeah, first time I've seen any of these actors.
From what I understand, Paul Mooney wasn't he in Scarface?
He was.
So see, like I wouldn't have known. Like I only know because of IMDb trivia told me, but I still haven't seen the original Scarface. So yeah,
Mm,
So he was in both those films this year. So
yeah.
1932
yeah.
was a big year. And fun fact, I just looked up Scarface, also starring Osgood Perkins, who
Ooh.
is the father of Anthony Perkins, the grandfather of
Ah,
Osgood Perkins.
I was gonna say, did they name Osgood twice?
So they
must be.
named
So
Osgood Perkins after his grandfather. They
so
skipped a
therefore,
generation.
if the motherfucker has a son, he better name him Anthony. Okay, like the chain needs
Yeah,
to continue. Osgood
yeah.
Anthony, Osgood Anthony. Okay, like he better not, he better not break that.
I like that though.
But
It's good.
Paul Mooney did both of these films, and then The Life of Emile Zola, The Story of Louis Pasteur. Like he
Mm.
did some really he had some really famous performances in the 1930s. And I like I don't think he's the kind of actor that has stood the test of time like a you know why am I blanking? Like a Jimmy Stewart
Hmm.
or somebody like that where we still know their name really
Yeah.
Yeah,
well
yeah,
today.
yeah,
But
yeah.
like
Exactly.
in like
Yeah.
film history and Oscar history, Paul Mooney was a pretty big name
Mm.
and had a lot of recognition as an actor. So,
His
and I,
catalog's not massive though. Like actors back then
yeah,
made 7,000 films. He's in like maybe 20 something, 30 something maybe. Um, he's actually, I was just
yeah.
reading, he's Austro-Hungarian, so he would have been good playing a Haitian too at some point.
See, he missed out
Maybe
on
he was
that.
in White Zombie too.
He missed out on that role.
He literally lost the role to lost the role
Was it Bela
to
Lugosi?
Bela
Yeah,
Lugosi.
Bela Lugosi. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Imagine him
But
getting the casting call. Be like, oh fuck no, Lugosi man.
Bella's great. Bella's great in the old Dark House that I spoke about before. He's so good in that
Hmm.
movie. Yeah, it's
I
great.
guess Adam, what other notes did you have that you wanted to get to?
The last one was during the diner scene before the robbery where he's like, "How much for that burger? How much do I owe you?" And he's like, 15 cents, and he hands it over, and the guy who's in there goes, 15 cents. Business is pretty good. I'm like, ah, those were the days. 15
Hmm.
cents for a burger, that's good money. Oh my
Was it
God.
like get a burger, a drink, and
Like
fries?
15
Today's like
bucks.
$15, $18.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. What a
What a
world.
what a world we live in.
But he was
Inflation.
getting what his if initial salary on those title cards are whipping through. He was on $4 a day, and then he was up to $12 a day or
12 and like
something.
14. Yeah, and then he was promoted to like
Yeah,
14. And I think that
yeah,
would be my last point. It's like this movie shows you, and Shane, you said something like prison shouldn't be about punishing, it should be about rehabilitation, right?
Correct.
Well,
absolutely.
yes. And
They
it's
don't
not
say
even
that
a
in this film.
should. Yes, exactly. They don't say it, but they show it. And more to the point, it's not that it should, like, it needs to be like that. If you look at, again, take it of not just American point of view, but a worldwide point of view. If you look
Mm,
at countries that have prisons, people in prisons, and then when they come out of prisons, how often they would go back to their ways, you'll
mm,
discover the more humanly you treat the
mm.
prisoners, and the prisoners live in the cushier cells, the less likely they are to go back to crime. The
Talking
more
about Norway?
opportunities you give them, yeah, the more opportunities
Yeah,
you give to somebody, you know,
yeah,
the less likely they are to go back on a street or to go back to robbing or go back to whatever, right? They were doing before. Anybody can make a mistake. It's about not punishing you for a mistake. It's about rehabilitating the person.
correct.
But, but if you're gonna treat people as commodity and make, uh, in America they have, prison for profits,
That's
you
right.
know,
Yeah,
they have to keep
privatizing
them
is
full.
yeah,
They have to keep them
yeah,
full, baby, because this is just the capitalism 101.
yeah. You have to keep
So,
money. Yeah, you don't
yeah,
want to
and
rehabilitate them.
yeah, and so yeah, so yeah, it's like this movie from 32 just talks about this specific aspect, how he is, despite him escaping, he actually managed to build himself a life, right? And then is
Mm,
still being then punished, and oh yeah, he because he hasn't served his full sentence, so he just believes them. Oh, it's only going to be 90
mm.
days and it's fine, and you can go
Yeah,
out and be
That
free.
made me so mad.
Yeah.
I
and
yeah.
then
I was
and
sitting
then
I
only
know.
watching
nine
this movie.
months and then only
Yeah,
9 months, and you need to be the best behaved prisoner, and then after
yeah.
that you'll be free. And then, like, you're gonna be see the passage of time with the calendar and all that, and
Mm,
damn well it's not gonna
mm-hmm,
happen, and
mm-hmm.
that fucking destroys you, and it just, yeah, it's
It's a
just,
testament to the storytelling that we gave a shit
yeah,
so
yeah,
much about
Yeah.
him. It
yeah,
really is. Like this is a really well told film.
There's a
yes,
lot of empathy there that
Mm.
we connect with. And
He had a hard
at the
life.
end, like his whole entire the middle act of this film shows like
Mm.
he did something with his life
mm-hmm,
He was
after prison.
capable.
And like,
Absolutely.
what's the point of sending him back to prison for
For
punishment?
for out of spite. It's out of
yes,
spite.
Yeah.
You've
spies,
put one
yeah,
over on us and we've got the power to get you back. That's all it
mm-hmm,
is.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, at least we do have one inspiring story of a convicted felon who overcame what he did and became president of the United States.
I wonder
So,
where are you going there, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
he
that's
commits
a,
more crime. He commits more crime now he's in office.
but it's fine because he's president, okay? It's all
Yeah,
totally
yeah.
fine. It's totally
President's
yeah,
got
fine.
carte
fine.
blanche. I
Americans
can't wait.
all voted for them.
I can't wait until 2028 when he's your vice president and JD Vance is your president and he's ruling from behind the veil, like Putin
Mm-hmm.
did. Like Putin, yeah,
Does.
before he
This,
changed the rules. Yeah.
Yeah,
yep.
Yep.
was it Medvedev? I
Mm.
Yes.
struggle trying to
Yeah.
Medvedev.
his puppet man that he just kept switching
Hmm.
spots with.
Yeah.
So fun
Yep.
stuff.
Hmm?
And then
But
Don Jr. will run, and then yeah, until this guy dies. He's there till he dies, which might be 3 months away.
moral of the story is you can make a life for yourself after committing a crime, whether you go to
Mm.
prison or not.
Yes.
But this film is so frustrating because it feels so poignant and real and
Mm.
authentic. And this feels so impactful for a film from that era.
Hmm.
Because like you see other films that are winning like Broadway Melody And like that's the
Mm.
kind of other stuff going on. And like even Grand Hotel has some of its darker elements, but you know, it's just shenanigans in a hotel. And like this has some stuff to say.
Hmm.
And it's a very powerful story and has a very harrowing ending too. And it
Mm.
Oh
just
yeah.
Mm.
ends.
It
And it's
seems
just
ahead
like,
of its time for its time.
mhm,
Seems,
Yes.
yeah.
for
It's a
sure.
human story.
Hmm.
But that is our thoughts on a teenage fugitive from a teenage
I
chain gang. But no,
love it.
this is indeed our thoughts on I'm a fugitive from a chain gang. I almost got it wrong again. Um, but
Gets under
that's
you.
our discussion of the year 1932 here on our podcast. And next month we'll be, yes, you guessed it, talking about 1933. And we actually have probably our biggest profile film to this point. We're talking about King Kong.
King Kong. This is the only one of these I haven't seen. I've seen the 70 something version and the 2000 something version. And I love them both. So fingers crossed.
And Kong Skull Island.
Of
Kong
course,
Skull Island
that's a
is what got me
masterpiece.
into Godzilla movies. I love Kong Skull Island. It was great.
Mm.
And Brie
John C.
Larson's in a tank
Riley.
top the whole film. It's, I'm happy. I'm the old
And I'm
perv of the
like,
group.
John C. Riley was the best part of the movie. I really like all you guys. We're all gonna die together.
No, that's Brie. See me
Definitely
in the
not.
comments.
There you go. Yes, please comment on our podcast and listen to our podcast. We'll take whatever comments for sure, whatever. But Luke and Adam, thank you both so much as always for coming on and chatting movies with me.
Anytime.
It's always a great time, man. Always
Yep.
fun. Thanks for having us.
And thank all of you for listening. Make sure to like, comment, share on this episode. What's your favorite film from 1932? If you've seen any, hopefully you have. Hopefully this show's inspiring you to expand your horizons and check out
Hmm.
some films from earlier cinema. We are like 3 decades in now, so you know we're moving along here. And make sure to follow or subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. The SPDM Crew Podcasting Network is ever expanding. We have like 8 podcasts between the three of us, and you can check them all out here on the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network. And there's so many other interest shows as well that you'll pique your fancy. But if you want to join the crew, reach out to us at our website if you want to be a guest on one of these shows or if you want to start your own podcast. And if you like our logo, check out my buddy Joe. He does some great work, does some fun cartoons and all types of stuff like that. And most importantly, thank you as always for tuning in and supporting the Cinematic Wasteland here on the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network.